Well, this is quite the different intro we have today, folks. But today we're going to be talking about the wood facing in the van, particularly with the closet and the bench. Now, 10 points if anyone can tell me whose bus I'm standing in front of. As you can tell, we are not in Texas right now. No, sir. All right, well, enough jibber jabber. Let's get this intro rocking. What do you say? Here we have an update on the facing. What we're currently doing is just getting all of our measurements. Justin is going through and we're taping the edges, as you can see here with this tape going along the closet wall and then here on the bench. And about every couple of inches, we're taking measurements from off the wall. So then when we go to cut the wood, we can put all these measurements in place, cut our straight line. That'll be the front of, let's say, the bench. And then these measurements that we're marking on the tape will be the measurements that we cut on the back end. So when we slide it in, it'll all be flush from the front. And same thing with the closet. But we're getting a lot more measurements for the closet because of the curve in the wall going from the floor to the ceiling. So that's where we're at right now. We're gonna get back into this time lapse and get some progress done. To help kind of explain a little bit better about the tape. So once we made all of our measurements, we then transfer the tape onto this board, put it along the flat edge, that would be the front facing, and then we take all of our measurements from the edge, and you see these dotted lines, all different measurements. So when we make the cuts, it'll transfer better inside to the van on the wall and will be flush from the wall to the front of the closet or the bench. So yes, that's what we're doing. Just learned that from Justin. He's a man of many trades. I'd like to say he tried to pick up on me earlier, but that's a whole nother story for another day. So let's get back to it. So what we just figured out is we need a jigsaw, and my cousin Justin and all the carpentry stuff that he does not have a jigsaw. So I'm gonna run to Home Depot and go buy him one. Be back in a second. Here we have one side almost done. We still have to trim out the front here, right here, as you can see. We'll trim all that out, but before we do that, we're gonna go ahead and get this wall done, the curve along the wall here. Then once it's in place, we'll come back and we'll trim what we need, and then we'll work on the door and the shelves. Remember that door that I was working on over my batteries that was just giving me a lot of problems? I probably tried to work on that damn door over the course of 3 or 4 different videos. Well, I never really finished it. I mean, I sort of did, but I sort of didn't. Like, here it is, and I still haven't got hinges. Someone offered an opinion. They said piano hinges, and I bought them, and I have 2 of them. But here's another issue. My cousin and I are currently working on the door, and if you see here, there's very little room. This is a 1/8 inch strip of wood. If you look down, I mean, it is right on the line. Now the door opens. My cousin and the woodworker that he is not satisfied with 1/8 inch wood, plus the wood that will be showing after we're done will not match the same color tones and grain as the closet wood. We're gonna modify this door to where I can still have the tile matching the floor, but yet cut the door to make it shorter so we can use 1/4 inch wood to match the closet. So that's where we're at. He's not happy.
Looks like doo-doo.
Today is his van.
We're gonna make it look like flowers.
And then we're also gonna put support systems in here to where we can finally step on the lid and not worry about bowing it and falling through it. So we're taking a little quick break on the bench and fixing the door. Facing the bench, sort of. That's kind of ongoing. Everything's kind of sort of with me. Nothing's ever really completed, but I'll show you that here in a second. And the closet is also sort of done. Now, the van is a bit messy, not from work, but all the things that I have shoved into it. Anyways, the van's a mess. I take you through and just ignore it. All right, so here's the bench completed, somewhat. And then here we have closet, and I say it's sort of done because the door's not done. You see here, the trim of the door is out. We're building the door up, cutting this hole out a little wider, putting more birch wood on top. But before I put the birch wood on top, the hole is going to be covered up with cane webbing. And then I'm still trying to figure out my door hardware. I have an idea, and I think that's what I'm going to do. And then the shelving, I'm going to be putting some of this foam material around the edges and on the back. Maybe on the front too, I don't know. So, what are we doing right now though? Well, I'm prepping for this trip, trying to get stuff in order. Then also, the van's not completed. There are gonna be times, I'm sure, where I wanna just chill in my van and relax. I'm working on the bench seat, putting the cushion on here. So let me show you that. So I'm gonna take this 1/8 inch board here, this Yucca board, and I cut it out to the size that I need, about 1/4 inch wider than the bench. That board is gonna get adhesive sprayed, or sprayed adhesive. Let me show you. We're gonna be using this stuff here, M390, spraying it to stick to the bottom of the foam. I have to cut the foam out to the shape of the board. Once that dries, the foam to the board, I then will take the fabric that I bought that will go over it, which I'll show you the fabric after I'm done. We'll do a little time lapse. You'll probably see it in the time lapse. But then I'll wrap the fabric around that, spray adhesive to the bottom of the board, and then staple it. And then put a Velcro strip on it and the other side of the bench so it'll stay in place. All right, I'm gonna set you guys up on a time lapse and we're gonna get this rocking. This is it. I think I might have mentioned before in early videos way back that I was gonna put a back on it. I don't think I will. I mean, I'm pretty tall and I'm sitting up straight with a little bit of my butt on the seat, but what am I trying to say? Smaller people, short people, I think will be able to sit further back, because if I put a cushion on it, it'll just have people as tall as myself, I guess, get pushed more forward. I don't know. But then also, if I want to lay on it, it gives me more room to lay on it. So, yep, that's it. All right, folks, we're going to try and finish the bench and the closet on the passenger side. So for right now, I'm going to be using this boiled linseed oil. We're gonna cover the entire bench and closet with this stuff. I'll be using my trusty sponge to spread it. I made sure to also get this particular type of sponge, because using a rag or other styles of sponges, it'll soak up all that linseed oil and it won't actually spread, whereas this one it'll allow me to spread it. It won't soak it up as much, and if it does soak it up, I can easily squeeze it out fast. All this on the sides of the closet here, that will all be done with linseed oil. And then once I start to work on the driver side, all that wood there, it will be the same thing, just linseed oil. In the front of the refrigerator, I'll cover this all again too in another video, but the front will match, the front of the refrigerator bench area will match the front of this bench that's here on the passenger side. The closet on the driver's side will match the closet on the passenger side as far as appearances go. And the bed will keep its natural look. Now, I'm still debating on when the Murphy bed gets folded down, if the side rails, the wood, will be stained gray or the natural wood look with just linseed oil. So I'm still debating on that. And then also when the bed is up and when we're sitting here in the bench looking at the table, or I'm sorry, looking at the bed. I've mentioned this before in several videos that when the bed is upright, there will be another board on the bottom of the bed, which we're facing opposite of us, that'll fold down. I'm debating if that table is also going to be natural wood color or to match the gray on the floor, or maybe something entirely different. I don't know. But that's another video for another day. Just kind of giving you guys a general idea of what things are going to look like in here. All right, enough talking. Let's do what we do. Let's wrap this up, time lapse it. All right, folks. Okay, so real quickly, we stained it. We'll put the oil on it. I'm still kind of iffy about it. From the bench to the closet, it's 2 different shades. So right now what we're gonna do is I'm going to make 3-inch trim pieces out of this big section here and then cut the door and the center where I've mentioned earlier to be 3 inches wide. So when I go to put the cane webbing on the front, you're not seeing any of this wood on the back end. You're only seeing the trim and the cane webbing. So let's do that. Here's an update. Well, I'll give you 2 updates. One update, Uncle Bill's home. So house sitting is officially over for me. I will be heading to another grandmother's tomorrow. So this is my last work day on the van. And then we're gonna hit the road for work, actual work. But oh, second update, the closet door. I've been working on the trim pieces here. Now this is what I was referring to when I kept referring to the cane webbing. This material here. Now I'm layering the door, building it out. So this will go on top of it, and then I'll have more strips of wood here at the bottom, running down the center all the way towards the top. Now the trim pieces, they're not gonna be equally spread apart from square to square. These are primarily to cover the framework of each shelf. And so these squares will be different shapes, but that is okay. Uncle Bill, anything you want to say to the people?
Peace out.
Peace out.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Came back from Hawaii, so it's mahalo, dude.
Mahalo. All right, it is the next day. Let's show you what I've done with that closet door so far. So my uncle and I put the cane webbing over the first layer of the door. Apologies for the noise in the background, cutting grass, if you can hear it. But now we got the second layer down. This is what it looks like. We've got all these bricks weighing it down because I didn't want to use nails and the second layer because that's what we'll see, and I don't have a nail gun, so I can't use those real small fine nails and then, you know, a little bit of wood putty. So we're gluing it down and hopefully it works. I'm about to remove the bricks and look at it. I guess it's time to show you. So obviously it's not finished. The sides here on both sides are going to get trimmed down towards the edge of the wood on the outside, and the cracks, I guess you can say, where each trim meets the next piece of trim, I'm going to be putting wood filler, and then I'm going to sand the whole thing down, get it real nice and smooth. We're going to put a layer of that linseed oil on, which will make this much darker than the cane webbing. Give you a comparison. Here you can see how much darker the wood is before and after the linseed oil. So that shade will look very nice. That's the video. I'm gonna go ahead and show you a little bit, show you the progress. It's still not completed. This video was getting a little lengthy. I didn't have time to trim off all the fat because a lot of this was filmed prior to Descend, after Descend, and then right before this work trip that I'm on. Oh, if you figured out who I was with or you didn't figure out who I was with at the beginning, I'm with Josh and his wife, Crowned in Style, you know, from Instagram. We're about to go have lunch. And so I'm gonna close out this vlog and show you what we've completed. You're gonna have to excuse the mess. Here is the closet door. I said it was still incomplete. That's because I'm probably still gonna do a second coat or third coat of the linseed oil. I still have to put veneer strip on the side to hide the edges because you can see the cane webbing and the layers. I gotta do that on both sides. I still have to create a latch to keep the door closed. Right now, the mattress that I use on the floor is what keeps it closed. And I have to do that because I've got the closet completely full of stuff. And if I don't keep it closed, it'll all fall out. And then there's the bench. Now the front of the bench is gonna look like the facing of the closet. I might have left that small detail out earlier. So you'll see this. Just imagine two rectangular shapes in the front with trimming on the top, sides, bottom, and right in the center, cane webbing. Now this cane webbing has no backing, so you can see my hand. This one already has a full face backing, and that is perfectly okay with me. The front of the fridge will look like that later, and like I said, ignore the mess. I am busy editing this very video right now. But that is it, folks. I will see y'all next Sunday. And if y'all been paying attention, you know what's coming next Sunday. Oh yeah, all my vegan friends. Okay, all right. Well, that's the end of the vlog. See you next Sunday. You know what time it is. Peace.
I happen to have some veneering here. Son of a bitch.
You hear that?
You can use my expensive veneering and we can hide your edges.
Give me your opinion again. I already know what it's going to be.
Yeah,
Over in the door.
Bad idea, man.
Up here.
Horrible idea. Horrible idea.
For every shelf.
Yeah.
Or just one long strip of it.
Yeah, horrible idea.
You're not a fan of the cane, are you?
Fuck no.
Well,
Alright. Okay, so
one struggle at a time, folks.
the worst thing that's ever happened to me so far was a piece of wood flew up and hit me in the face, and another piece of wood shot through this thing and stuck into my stomach. Like it actually impaled me through my t-shirt.
And if any of you were wondering, oh, your cousin's so nice to help you. Yeah, he's all right. But I kind of paid for it. I got him this for Christmas.
Yeah.
Take 2 of staining the wood, because the first one I wasn't not even recording, so we can delete that track.
Everybody needs a little trim.